In IronCAD, you're able to group objects together to make it easier to find objects of the same type and select them for various operations. For example, we can select onto our parts and hold down our Shift key and select, for example, these beams. We can right-click and say Group Selected Items. What you have now in 2016 PU1 is a new option to create two different types of groups. If you click No, this will leave the groups the way they used to be in the previous versions, where it creates a group underneath the main scene level. And it's only tied to this physical file. So for example, if you take this assembly and export it out, or save it out as external link, or put it into a catalog, this group doesn't move along with it. It just stays attached to the scene. But it does still provide you the same options where you can highlight all your parts very easily. You can right-click to get more operations that you can perform on this. You can expand it to see those groups. You can also ungroup just by right-clicking and saying ungroup. But if we repeat that process, in this case, we'll go ahead and hit yes. To regroup it underneath the parent shape, you'll notice that this is the parent shape, and it actually changes your structure a little bit. What it's actually doing is actually creating a group underneath this assembly. So if you store this component into the catalog, for example, we create a new catalog, and we move this into the catalog. And if we start to drop it out, I guess if we just drop it out here again, you'll see it'll have that same, this is our new part, you'll see that that group information stays associated with it, so it carries on the same information that you always had. What it's actually doing when it's creating these groups, it has your group folder where it has your selections that you created. Again, you have your right-click operations to perform on this, and it just creates a product folder for assemblies to basically show you here's your regular structure for your assembly capability. So your regular working environment stays intact in the way you left it, and you just work underneath this product, but you can expand and collapse that as needed. This can also be done at the feature level. For example, under our main beam here, we have a bunch of holes, so we can select all these holes, right-click again, and say Group Selected. We'll get that same message. Again, we can put it at the top level, down here where it shows constraints, or we can say yes, and it'll actually change the structure of the individual part to create the same concept, where you have your groups, where you can select your group elements inside of here, Group 1, for example, to say we want to suppress these shapes real quick, we can do so. And then we also have our feature tree that actually shows the real feature, and you can see the actions performed. So it makes it really easy to go in here, see your options, your highlights. You can ungroup these and do various operations on those. So a very handy tool that now you can actually create these feature groups underneath the parent shape, whether it's an assembly or a part, to make it a lot faster to work with these objects and also store it with it so other users or other files can reuse that same capability.